an American regional soccer league that is run by its member clubs. The goals of the league are to focus on sustainability, promote high-level.
Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome to Altoff High School. We're in Belleville, Illinois. Bob Richards along with Tyler Rosen. And we've got the season opener here in the Midwest Premier League soccer season here. Ehtar Belleville FC versus the visiting BOHFS, BOHFS out of St. Louis. Tyler, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bob. Good to be back together. We really only get to seemingly work together when it's soccer season, so it must be soccer season. It's opening night.
I'm a one-trick pony when it comes to sports broadcasting. You're stuck with the old soccer guy again today. We're going to tune into the starting lineups and talk a little bit about these players. You're listening to Ehtar Soccer on Prepcast.com.
Introducing from BOHFS, number 12, the goalkeeper, Liam Gibbs. Number 3, right back, Pau Montserrat. Number 13 at center back, Wilfred Nyamzi. Number 15 at center back, Cole Gerstenberger. Number 16 at left back, Miles Barrington. Number 11, left midfielder, Anis Smoglovich. Number 8, the center midfielder, Ogmen Bozovic. Number 7, left midfielder, Adam Knight. Number 6, right midfielder, Cedric Sennel. Number 10, a striker, Eric Rajoy. And number 9, a striker, Edvin Marovic. And now, introducing your Ehtar FC starting lineup. At number 1, the goalkeeper, Pablo Costa. Number 2 on defense, Tyler Sargent. Number 4 on defense, Anton Mosley. Number 13 on defense, Jermaine Mentor. Number 20 on defense, Gibson Hunt. Number 8, a midfielder, Yaya Nogenga. Number 23, a midfielder, Alex Peters. Number 21, a midfielder, Quinn Connolly. Number 9, forward, Dominic Bartoni. Number 11, a forward, Luca Bartoni. And number 12, a forward, Gary Mills. And your head coach, Tim Mosby, joined by assistants Joe Benninger and Felix Cameu.
Today, the Ehtar players will be wearing black armbands in memory of Patrick Holding. If we could all have a moment of silence real quick in honor of Patrick. Thank you. Let's go, Ehtar.
And now we will be joined to sing our national anthem by Gary Shoemaker. He is a Belleville native and United States Marine Corps veteran. Gentlemen, if you could please remove your caps.
Sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets around the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, and we are just moments away from the start of this clash between Ehtar and the BOHFS. Again, regular season opener for the Midwest Premier League here, Althoff High School in Belleville, Illinois, on a nice afternoon. A little bit of a breeze blowing across the field here, Tyler, but not a bad day for some soccer.
No, absolutely not. In the past couple of days, it's been a little warmer, a little more humid, and playing on this turf, I'm sure all 22 on the pitch will feel pretty good today with a nice breeze. You were down there on the pitch before the start of the game. How did it feel down there?
Yeah, it felt terrific. I had a
Good.
nice cut. Coach Tim Mosby gave me a few minutes, and I appreciate that from the head coach. And talked a little bit to him about he's got some veterans coming back to this team. Center back mentor is his third year out of Lindenwood. He's a captain, really good in the air. He's fast, very technical, and he's going to be solid in that backfield. The other 3-year starter here in the middle, he's a middle defender. It's Yaya Nogengo, and he's in his third. A couple of CBC guys up top, Luca Bertoni and his brother Dominic Bartoni. And that's some players there to watch on Ehtar here as the season gets underway. A nice conversation also with the head coach, Alan Bartowitz from BOHFS, and he talked about some of his key players as well. We're going to keep an eye on number 15 and 13 in the back, Gertzenberger and Yamzi. In the center of the midfield, number 8 is Bosovic. And up top, the number 10, look for Barrington, and the number 6 to make an impact in this game. Number 10 being Barrington, and the number 6 being Senga. Ehtar is in their home whites with black shorts, black socks. They're going left to right in this first half. And the visitors from BOHFS in the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, they with the white shorts, and should be a fun one. Opening night always interesting for both teams. See what you have, and I'm sure after the friendlies have been done, they're ready to finally play for real.
Play for real. They're tired of kicking each other, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That gets old. The training sessions week after week, and you want to get out there and really play something that counts, and this one counts. And the referees are getting the clock adjusted here. We get 45 minutes on the clock. And we'll be ready to roll. A pretty good crowd piling in here this afternoon. One thing about the Ehtar team here, they do a great game day experience. They got food trucks here, obviously some good music before the match. Really just a great soccer atmosphere. And both these teams new to the league, the Midwest Premier League, and saw some online comments from the president of the league welcoming these two teams into the league play. And again, we're just working on getting the clock adjusted here for the start of the match. And again, we're glad you're with us. The referee puts us into play. This is the BOHFS. We're going to work it through the back. Showing some good patience here as they spread the field. Nice tackle by Ehtar out of the back there. That was Gibson Hunt from his wing back position there. Midfield. BOHFS played wide. Couple of one touches. Again, nice job working it wide. Smolovich played it wide. Now across the top of the 18. Now across the face of goal and hit it out clear. It's going to stay in. No, the flag is up. We're going to have our first set piece of the game. Has some good early work from BOHFS. Put some pressure on the central defense.
I think that was the captain mentor who got a head on to clear it out.
Yeah, he did a good job of winning that header there right in the face, right in the 6-yard box. Down. So we got our first corner of the match. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. Wind at his back. Curls it towards the near post, headed clear. Played all the way back to the keeper. That's Liam Gibbs.
Came way outside of his box to come play that.
Yeah, our first call of the game as Smolovich goes down. It's a little friendly tackle from Luca Bartoni. Get acquainted tackle, I call those.
Yeah.
Ehtar trying to build something from the midfield. And they play it back. Both teams showing some good early possession. Very impressive.
And both very patient and willing to work out of the back here in the early going, which isn't a huge surprise here in the opening few minutes of the first game of the year, trying to figure out your opponent, probably figuring out a little bit what you can possess.
About yourself as well, right?
Absolutely.
Last thing you want at the start of a season is a big blunder that ends up in the back of your net.
Right.
Sargent plays it wide. BOHFS pick up the loose ball. See some quick one touches here from the visitors from St. Louis.
Tried to unlock a little heel flick there to spring a teammate free, but just no one really within the vicinity besides a couple of Ehtar defenders.
It's going to skip across the touchline as just out of the reach of Quinn Connolly. Again, I can't thank the coaches enough for their time before this match. Both very gracious. Talk a little bit about their team and players coming into the start of the season. You can kind of see the excitement on their faces as well.
And they've probably been more excited for longer than these players, you know.
Coach Mosby with a rich history of coaching in the area. It's going to bounce off the corner flag and cross the byline for a goal kick. So we played not quite 5 minutes of this match. And again, we're glad you're with us. The opening of the Midwest Premier League season on prepcast.com. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as Tyler and I are going to enjoy bringing it to you. It's going to be a little bit of a foul from behind. Challenge called against Gary Mills.
Yeah, 2 hands in the back. Will draw a whistle more times than not.
Referee asks him to put the ball stationary before they hit the restart. Liam Gibbs with the ball at his feet, plays it wide. Very slick there from Barrington as he pulled it away from a Ehtar player. Ehtar pressing up the field here, Tyler.
Put a lot of pressure on. Got to make these passes crisp here for BOHFS.
Yeah, they can see just a little bit of a change of tactics there as they sort of shifted into a high pressure.
Well, they got going right away. You could see it with Mills before he committed the foul. They were already trying to put that high press back on and try and lock a little something there.
Again, nice work from Sargent here, that right wing back position.
That little bounce there had a little bit of a Q spin there. Gibbs, no problem, but had to be a little bit aware as that was coming into frame.
Ehtar. Work it wide. Sargent. Steps on it, brings it back. Connolly. Looking for Sargent. Yeah. Flicks it towards the keeper. No harm there. As it's easily pulled down by the keyer, Liam Gibbs.
Trying to unlock Mills there on a timing run and, well, put it a little too close to Liam Gibbs, and it's going to be a tough ask there for Mills to track that one down.
Gibbs drives it down the pitch. Tyler, you and I are in a bad spot. The food trucks are too close. I smell barbecue.
I know. Before we came to air, I was seeing some fans walk up with some pre-game food, and I was thinking, man, maybe I still got 10 minutes.
I think you got the company credit card, too.
Right?
Ball played wide. Ehtar on the attack. Trying to get a shot opportunity. It's going to go for, that's going to spin back, and a bit of a collision there. Referee is going to call a foul on Ehtar here.
Don't forget to get your Ehtar FC Mega Raffle tickets.
Yeah, they must have had some spin keeping it in play.
Yeah.
Good effort going over there by Gibson Hunt of Ehtar to make life difficult for Gibbs, but undercut him a little bit when Gibbs went up.
I think it's a good call there.
Yep.
That ball had a little English on it as it started to turn right back into the field. BOHFS. Again, facing that pressure. Gibbs drives it down the middle. Headed down by Nojenga. Third-year player. We talked about him in the opening. He's more of a defensive midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of experience. Really the midfield maestro of Ehtar.
Well, you tend to see a lot of those defensive midfielders become that maestro a little bit. They're such good facilitators. They can lock down defensively in the middle of the field, which we know is so key to presenting success for moving forward.
Yeah, that's a pass that got away from him there to the top of the 18. There's a shot blocked. Mentor with the block. Again, pressure. Another block. Shot blocked. Third one blocked. Nice job of saving the corner kick there. Is lots of pressure off of counterattack here for Boff. Had 3 shots blocked in the span of about 10 seconds.
Right. Peters was able to get the cleats on one of them, and just putting bodies in the box and the shooting lanes there and able to knock it down, and it's going to go for a throw far side.
A very impressive crowd here for the opener.
Yeah.
Stay on side, and this one is going to go for a corner. Second of the match. So This one will be taken a little bit against the teeth of the wind that's blowing pretty much across the field. It's died down a little bit since we got here about an hour ago. One was blowing a lot more briskly.
Right-footed outswinger here.
With pace. Headed clear. Boss. Smolovich. Plays it wide. One touch. Nicely done. Good defending there by Connolly. Ehtar looks to get through midfield. There's a heavy tackle. Referee's not going to like that one.
Late and low, never a good idea. You can say that for a lot of sports, really.
Yeah. You'll get an early talking to from the referee. That would not put you in the book, but he'll make note of it.
Next one might get you closer.
That one got Coach Tim Mosby up off the bench.
I'd imagine it would.
And, you know, the coach has got a little work to do when something like that happens. Let the referees know that he's in the park. Ehtar. Mentor. Sargent. Nice steal there. A counterattack. Knight.
Looks like Barrington to throw.
Two teams got some height. I think we're going to look at a long throw here with the win at the back. Look for this one to go in deep into the 18. We'll see. And it does. Flick to the top of the 18 and out by Nojenga.
Yeah, trying to get Momotovich on that long throw there. He was sandwiched between a couple of Ehtar defenders. Played nicely.
Kretzenberger plays it back to Gibbs. Gibbs wide. Kretzenberger back to him. Drives it down the field. Headed down by Mosley. But picked back up by BOHFS. Nice through ball there. Held in. Throw into Ehtar. Still waiting for our first big shot on goal here, Tyler. It's
first big shot, first real scoring chance for either team, too.
Yeah, we've had a couple of set pieces here. Some good possession of the ball by both teams early on. Ball pulled away from Gary Mills there. He goes down and foul's called. Quick restart.
A little too quick.
A little too quick. Wasted.
Yeah, we're trying to get Sargent here on the wing, and, he was a little too far behind the play, and as we mentioned, a quick restart. He kind of just gave up on that one, rightfully so, said, Mr. Gibbs, you can take that one.
Yeah, it was out of reach. I think the wind is a little diagonal, right? From a little bit from left to right, across the field. Trying to get a look at the flags here. Ehtar. Battle for it midfield. That foul.
Yeah. Both teams have done a nice job keeping the ball on the carpet thus far, and wind hasn't been a huge factor just yet. And
big cross here, played back. Throw in, Ehtar. BOHFS. Barrington. Find number 7. That's Knight. Nice move to his right. Cuts it to his right again. Shot! Blocked. Ehtar doing a good job getting in front of these shots.
Just funneling down. It seems like anyone approaches the 6.
Dangerous here. Just couldn't get much on that shot as it slipped through the 6-yard box. That block shot was from Sargent. Ehtar's probably blocked 6 or 7 shots here in his first half.
I was going to say, and I wouldn't, there might be a couple more we may have missed.
Yeah,
and
that's in the first 15 minutes here.
Right, and luckily for Ehtar there, that ball just gets a little too close to the goal line there. Not enough there for Knight to try and really make it a great attempt for Costa. But a save made nonetheless, and stays locked in at 0-0, 15 minutes played.
Sargent. Ventura plays it to the far side. Mosley. Finds Connolly. Ehtar trying to build something here out of the middle. They give up possession. With speed. BOHFS look to counter. And nice tackle there and the win of the ball by Quinn Connolly. I think that's the keeper's first touch.
I think so, yeah. Outside of a restart, I think you are correct.
Pablo Costa.
Boutique in O'Fallon, Illinois for all of your hair care needs.
Well, and he gets them about halfway up the pitch. But yeah, neither keeper been too involved so far here in the first half. Gibbs willingly got himself involved just with a couple passes.
Flag stays down. Shot! Whoa, nice side by the keeper from a bad angle. How about that one, Tom?
Well, we just talked about neither keeper having to do too much. Well, Liam Gibbs had to be alert right there to get up and punch that one over.
He's well over 6 feet, and he needed every bit of that frame. And we've got our first corner from Ehtar now as they get players up into the top of the 18. And one player on the keeper. Let's see how they handle their first set-piece opportunity.
This corner kick brought to you by Copper Fire in Belleville, Illinois.
And it appears it will be Gary Mills to take it. Right-footed outswinger.
Oh, the header. Nice try there. Good attempt. Looked like it came off the head of Dominic Bartoni, number 9.
I had a prime spot, too. Somehow unmarked on his way in, right about 12 yards out, almost at the spot.
Got a free header there.
Yeah. And BOHFS maybe on the sideline thinking we're lucky to get away with that one.
Again, folks, we're glad you're with us wherever you're tuning us in around the country. And Howard, you and I have had listeners and watchers around the world.
Yes, we
have.
have.
For some of the soccer matches we've done for various colleges and universities here in the Midwest.
Always amazing when we get some of those reports and where everyone's tuning in from. And like you said, we
shake our heads and say we fooled them again.
Yeah, I know. And we're employed another week. How
There we
about
go.
that?
It's a lot of fun. BOHFS. Gibbs. Well across midfield. Neither team has dug into their roster for a substitution yet.
Looks like Momotovic went down a little bit there. Was grabbing it towards the back of his head for BOHFS.
One thing, you better move the ball quick or someone's going to tackle you.
I was going to say, haven't had much time to think, and both teams getting really right back on the press when they lose possession.
Yeah, everybody is quick to the ball, that's for sure. Mosovic plays it back to Gersberger. Ehtar. Nice combination of touches there to win the ball. Sargent plays it all the way back to his keeper. Dangerous here. Goal. There's a mistake. And ends up in the back of the net for number 6. Cedric Sengel with the goal.
We get another look at it here. We mentioned the long pass back, and it was handled initially pretty well, and then kind of running out of ideas when presented with a BOHFS attacker in front of him was Costa. Finds the back of the net, 1-0. Here, about 20 minutes on in this first half.
Yeah, the pressure on the keeper caused the mistake, and the ball was won, and this slipped into the open net. That's too bad because you'd like to see that first goal of the season be a cracker from 25 yards out.
Right.
But, that happens. What you do now, if you're the Ehtar squad, is you shake it off and play like it's 0-0 and get back at them, right?
Well, and absolutely, because it's been a mistake that led to a goal. It wasn't necessarily you were beat all the way down the field and you had the run of play and you were finally unlocked. It was just an unfortunate error there. So certainly right in the thick, and you think if you just get a one bounce this way or to go your way, draw back even easily.
And if you're Ehtar, what you want to try and do is climb back into this match before the half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get this game level and then take it from there. Little flick on there by Bertoni. There's a chance. Cleared by the keeper. Good pressure from Ehtar there to try and level this game.
Wasting no time after
a shot opportunity sent wide. Mills after it.
Nice.
And we'll have a second corner here.
And Mills played it right off the defender there. Wins the corner. Smart play. And just to your point, Bob, you just want to get back on the front foot after giving up the first goal and see what might happen here over the next 22 and a half minutes or so.
Had it clear. It was Gertzenberger. Shot! Blocked. I think that one hit his own man.
I think that may have been Don Bertoni, who was trying to get out of the way. May have clipped him. Maybe it was Mosley.
Yeah, it was Mosley.
Trying to work back to more defense position. Got caught in the mix.
Looks like he's going up for the corner kicks.
I'd say since the early barrage and the first 7 minutes of kind of some chances for BOHFS, it's been played in the middle, or Ehtar's just been trying to unlock that final third a little bit, at least really over the past, we'll call it 10, 15 minutes.
First substitution coming here, Tyler. Looks like Mills is coming off, and not happily so.
No. It'd be Mohammed Hamad, I believe, coming into the game, number 7.
And we're back to action. Nil. Favor the visiting BOHFS from St. Louis. Again, this is the opener for both teams in this Midwest Premier League. Into the corner. BOHFS. Nice combination of footwork there. In the 18. Cross. Cleared. Sargent.
Sargent perfectly placed right on the line there. The goal line, that is. Clears it nicely after some good work in tight spacing inside the 18. Looked like maybe BOHFS was going to find another one. As you mentioned, Bob Sargent able to clear it off the line.
Yeah, BOHFS has a couple forwards with some great footwork.
Yeah.
They can really.
Well, to hold it in play, not only hold it in play there, but to kick it back and find a teammate.
Back on the attack again. Nice spin move there. That was Connolly. That referee's going to pull it back here. Now we are going to have a card. Our first of the match.
Clear pull of the jersey there with a little head of steam.
Yellow card on BOHFS.
And a tactical foul, certainly.
Took one for the team. Took one for the team there.
Yeah, although not in
Long way from goal though.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Not in the usual spot. We'll see some of those.
Yeah, they had a long way to go. It's not exactly the most dangerous spot on the field. We played a little over. Well, we played almost 26 minutes of the first 45. It's 1-0.
And that feels like it's been the only difference. And it sounds obvious, but just the one miscue between the two.
Again, pressure from Ehtar. As they get players up the field here.
Luca Bartoni wanted to go quick there. Didn't have enough.
Cross to the far side.
This is a reminder to head on over to the merch stand to get your Ehtar gear.
Going to give the throw in here to BOHFS.
Ehtar trying to plead their case for
A little bit of
retaining
deflection,
possession.
yeah. Referees have done a good job for these first half hour of this game.
Thought so too. Adam Dries, the head referee in the middle tonight. Assisted by Marco Perez and Adam Leuer.
Throw in Boss.
And the man who can't get away from it, the fourth official, Elam Mateen. So you can only go so far.
Yeah. Barrington with the throw. And we'll do it again.
Thank you to our partners from Lottie's Farm Recording Studio in Belleville, Illinois.
Ball headed down by Mentor. Cleared now outside the 18. Flicked on by Bartoni. Loose ball picked back up by BOHFS. Herzenberger plays it wide. Now through the midfield. Oh, nice move. And a foul. Sargent with the foul.
That was Barrington with, as you mentioned, a really nice move to hold the possession, have a defender slide by him, and a little bit of a frustration foul.
He's quick on the ball.
Oh, man.
Rajoy. We're in the number 10. Driven towards the top of the 18, knocked down there.
We would like to express support for Evangeline's St. Louis and the Central West End. They took some damage in yesterday's tornado, so go ahead and support them.
Throw in Boss. They lead this one 1-0. Looks like we're going to have a substitution here.
It looks like.
Referee's going to push the Boss forward off here on the near side. That's the number 9.
So, Mamotovich comes out. Wilfred Niamsi.
Mike Utley.
Mike Cutley comes on in his place.
So a different 13 coming in than what we had. Oh, we got 2 of them, unless I wrote the wrong number. Mike Utley.
We'll go with Mike Utley.
Yeah, sure.
Had a little bit of a challenge tracking down rosters for this one, right?
Yeah. So our apologies as we move through the game, or mine at least. Bob can blame it on me. That's fine.
Nice job stepping up from the back. It was Mosley making that run through the center back position. He's staying up. BOHFS. Nice turn on the ball and received there. They go wide. Played into the corner. Nice job of some possession here. Gerstenberger plays it back to his keeper. Oh, this is dangerous. Does not play it hard enough, and it's intercepted. A shot. No shot. Just held on too long. I was dreaming of a shot.
I was right there with you. Luca Bartoni doing all the hard work.
He intercepted that pass back, and that was an opportunity to capitalize on a BOHFS mistake. I don't know if Bartoni just didn't feel that pressure coming from behind and tried almost to dribble around the keeper.
Yeah, it felt like maybe he knew he had one on his left but
Yeah.
didn't feel the other behind him, so he makes that move trying to beat the keeper around and just kind of place it in, and it was worked off the ball. Tough break there for Ehtar.
Just a golden opportunity to tie this one up on a very similar play to the last goal. Very rare that you see that
And that's tough.
twice in the first half.
Yeah, and that's tough for Bartoni because he did all the hard work, got the steal, ran down the pitch, and just couldn't pull the trigger
Well,
on his way in.
Yeah, it was just great anticipation there as he stepped in and won that ball before the keeper, Liam Gibbs, could get to it. But he didn't hear the footsteps pounding behind him. So it stays 1-0 here.
Go ahead and head on over to the beer tent on the concourse if it's time for another.
Couple of subs getting loose for Ehtar. Should be at the next opportunity.
Ball played long. Oh, nice touch there and wide. In the 6-yard box. Handled easily by the keeper, Costa. Keeper off his line. Oh, that was very close to being outside the 18. As Gibbs flashed his way out of his net to snatch that ball right at the top of the 18. Nicely done.
Yeah, awfully close to being 18 and a half.
Bartoni. Finds Sargent. Defended by Bozovic. Sargent turns the corner. Bartoni is blocked. Dominic Bartoni. His shot goes wide. So good flurry of action there from Ehtar.
Well, they've been able to kind of get the run of play going forward and at least create some opportunities, some crossing, some corners we've seen a couple of times as well, and just really haven't been able to get much on frame. We saw right there for BOHFS kind of taking a page out of the defensive book of Ehtar, just getting in the way, knocking shots down, and eventually getting the goal kick.
Just looking for that final bit of magic there.
Yeah. Here's Adam Boykin, who's come into the game for Ehtar.
Sargent's had a nice half.
He's been busy. He's been running around. Kind of a right wing back. Not afraid to mix it up in the forward position and attack.
Be a foul called here.
Ehtar substitutions, number 24, Adam Boykin, and number 15, Maquan Aldridge.
Quan Aldridge, the other to come into the game at the last sub opportunity for Ehtar. So Aldridge and Boykin into the game.
So Coach Mosby digging into his roster here on the opening day, which is entirely makes sense.
Yeah, well,
Get
you want
players on the field and see what you got here to work with over the next couple months of action.
and first day with real game day energy. So keep the legs fresh a little bit, especially late here in the first half.
Bertoni played wide. Boykin.
Well, Gibbs has no problem flirting with the top of the 18.
Tower, you got a chance to look at some of these players as they're getting signed to these two rosters. There's a lot of experience, at high level college experience. Number of Division I players.
A good opportunity to keep the competitive juices going too. Played at a good level as well. And it makes our job a lot more fun as well.
Yeah, I've been very impressed here with both teams here in this first half.
Well, again, still we're less than 10 minutes left to the halftime break before we get any potential stoppage time. But it's been hard to kind of find the separation between the two outside of just the misplay that led to the goal for BOHFS here in the first half.
Yeah, we saw two misplays in the back. One of them resulted in a goal, one didn't.
Yeah. And it seems like, at least based off this first half, it might be stuff like that proves to be the difference here, at least opening night.
Ehtar. Loose ball picked up by BOHFS. Nice job getting through midfield. And they play it wide. Nice job. Sargent steps up. Just a nice player. That's off of the 24, I think. Boykin.
Thank you to our proud partners from Lighthouse Design, Belleville, Illinois.
.39 minutes into the first 45. 1-0. Bob Richards along with Tyler Rosen. You're listening to and watching prepcast.com. We are glad you're with us today. The home opener for Ehtar. As they look to try and level this match before half. It'd be the golden thing to happen for the home team. Gertzberger heads back. Rahoy. It's going to have a little too much steam on that. No problem for the keeper.
I think Costa just glad to get another one in that he doesn't have to worry about there and kind of go towards washing away the mistake. Touch.
Just slips across the touchline. Throw in BOHFS.
Good effort, too, there from Aldridge on the run. Just about half a step late.
So Prepcast will be doing all the games for home games, right, for Ehtar?
I believe so for us, as Almeida checks into the game for BOHFS. I believe this is the only one we're together. I think Michael Wagon Connect, Colin Surrey will be here a majority of the season.
The A-team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There is no denying that.
Yeah.
We were a last-ditch effort.
They found me on the street corner somewhere. Sergeant. Flicks it into the 6-yard box. Keeper off his line. Can hear him all the way up here to call off his defender as he handles the ball.
Well, yeah, every home game right here on Prepcast.com. And team website, league website to stay up to date when the team is traveling. It's taking a step up, Midwest Premier League, both these teams. In the Gateway South Division, so keeping it pretty local.
And there's some good clubs in this league.
Yeah.
Every game will be a real challenge for these players. So you'll have to bring your A game every game if you want to be competitive. Bertoni almost picked that one off there. Foul's going to go against Boff.
Yeah, Aldridge getting taken down over there.
Don't forget to grab your Ehtar FC Mega Rapid tickets. We are offering first, second,
About 3 minutes from the halftime. And maybe one of a couple final good looks here for Ehtar.
Set piece from the far side. Floated towards the top of the 18. Flicked on. And headed. They headed again. Flag goes up.
I wonder if they're going to get that on the first. Because that was Mosley who had the first head there. Or rather towards the back post after the initial flick on.
Yeah, I think they got him on the first one.
Yeah, that's where it looked like based off of our AR here on the near side. But that was a really good look and a great flick on towards the back post. Right idea.
Yeah, nicely flighted ball.
Yeah.
Really nicely weighted. Really no pushback from the Ehtar players.
No.
They obviously recognize the offsides.
And Mosley did a nice job to get himself unmarked there. It was just a little too early to the spot.
Down to the last couple minutes. I don't think there'll be any added time. Bertoni. Nice turn there. Yeah. Shot opportunity. Flag goes up. Handball. Kind of caught the arm there.
An unfortunate one.
I think that was a number 7, I believe. Ahmad?
And that might just about sew up this first half.
Ball kind of ran up his arm there a little bit. The referee is going to hold up the sign there and give us an indication if there's going to be any added time. Minutes. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hasn't been too much to stop the run of play besides our own, or the only goal.
Unofficially, I think this is the third corner kick for BOHFS. Top of the 6-yard box, flicked out by Mentor. He's had a nice first half. The veteran. Bartoni a little up the back there of the number 11, Smilovich.
Yeah, a little bit aggressive working from behind. Had his teammate Boykin helping out as well. But a little too aggressive there. And just want to be careful not to be overly aggressive late in the half here and pick up a late caution.
BOHFS with a restart. We're in added time. This is dangerous. Punched by the keeper. Nicely done. Picked up by Aldrich.
Mosley a little slow to get up, appears to be all right. I think talking with Costa a little bit there to work on their communication as Costa kind of took him out a little bit. It'll be 2 minutes at the referee's discretion. So we are about 40 seconds away. Well, Gibbs is confident with that pass.
Nice move. Held in by Ehtar. Little room to work here. Yeah, plays it wide. Finds Aldrich off his foot. That is going to do it as we get to halftime here. It is 1-0, the BOHFS over Ehtar. We're glad you're with us for this Midwest Premier League opener. We're going to take a little halftime break. We'll see you for all the exciting action of the second half. You're listening to Prepcast.com. Welcome back to Belleville, Illinois, the home of Ehtar. We're at Althoff High School. We had a great first half. The opening match of the season for both of these teams. BOHFS is up 1-0. As we get ready for second half action, Bob Richards along with Tyler Rosen. We're glad you're with us on prepcast.com. Ehtar in their home white, black shorts, black socks going against BOHFS. And their traveling blue jerseys, white shorts, white socks. Both teams had some good opportunities in that first half. BOHFS capitalized on a little bit of a hiccup in the backfield, and that puts them up here 1-0. Ehtar had a very good chance about 3/4 of the way through the half to level this match. We'll see how it all shakes out as the referees got everybody ready to go. 45 minutes is going to be played. And in the extra time that he adds, a little bit of a breeze blowing across the field here as we get ready for action.
This second half kickoff is brought to you by the leader in radio communications, Itera.
Looks like Aldridge getting the start here on the near side in the second half.
He came on late in the first half.
Costa back in net.
And the whistle goes. Mosley drives it down the field. It's going to skip all the way to Liam Gibbs here. Not really tested very often in that first half.
No, thought he might get at least one big old test there from
Turned up being
Bartoni.
Offsides.
Yeah. And then Bartoni had a good run in, Luca Bartoni that is, and just couldn't quite pull the trigger. Defense came from behind and forced him off the ball, and that was going to be the best chance for Ehtar besides the offside that we saw early.
BOHFS going to play it all the way back and going to restart it here. Gerstenberger plays it down the line in front of the BOHFS bench where there's a foul.
And Sargent a little late.
We talked a lot about Sargent in that first half. Had a nice first half for Coach Tim Mosby, who did some shuffling of the lineup as that first half went along, trying different combinations.
Yeah, and just a really evenly matched first half.
I agree. Held in at the corner. Oh, it's going to skip across the offside flag went up. So we're going to bring that ball back out to the top of the 18 or so as Sargent retrieves it.
See where they officially have him spot this.
It's going to go back to Sargent. He was offsides on the wing out there.
And all players on the pitch wondering what the the hubbub is.
And now we'll have the restart. Yeah, the winger flashing down the far touchline over there was offsides. At midfield. Bit of a collision there at midfield as a couple players go down. This foul is going to be called against Ehtar.
Looks like a tackle you might see on a Friday night here at Althoff Catholic.
Look like some of my high school games there.
Well, they let you get away with a little bit more then.
Nice job getting up and winning the header there. Aldridge. Ball pulled away from him. Dangerous here. Played wide. Offside? No, flag stays down. Big stop by the keeper there. Ehtar dodges a bullet there.
Oh, yeah, scrambling there was Costa, makes a big save, and then the defense steps up in front, allows him to get back in frame, but Costa looks a little shaken up there.
Yeah, he's got the hand up. He's looking for help from the referee. Foot race here. Chance for Ehtar. Picked up by Boff. Referee is going to stop here and bring on the trainer to look at the keeper.
Well, the backup tonight, Hunter Vetter. If Costa cannot continue, and he didn't seem to be moving that left arm very much as he gets checked out now. And so we're going to check on him and wonder if it might just take the safe play here if your head coach, Tim Mosby, bring in Vetter.
I don't see another good keeper loosening up, so.
Not yet.
It looks like he's going to stay in.
Maybe just an awkward fall there and trying to get the, just get a good feeling back, get the range of motion, see what you're dealing with.
It was a very courageous off-the-line save.
Yeah.
He dove right into the heat of the battle there, and that was a tremendous stop.
And he almost paid the price for it there, but he will stay in the game.
Yeah, he came charging off his line and just really, as you say, stuck his nose in there.
Yeah.
And took quite the knock. Buff, down the line, foot race here. Nice step over. Ehtar looks to clear their own end. It's going to skip out of play. So we'll have a throw in.
It was a well-timed run there by Mamotovic. Initially there, just couldn't quite get a shot off.
Bartoni plays it over the top. Oh, there's speed here. Wow. Big time speed. Shot! Just slipped past the far post. How about that speed?
Yeah, no kidding. Boykin, almost out of nowhere, turning on the Jets, just splits two defenders and collects that ball to about a yard and a half from the touch or from the goal line there and just curls it across the face. Heck of a run, great effort.
Yeah, absolutely. What a burst of speed he showed there. Came on late in the first half, was impressive, and that was really a tremendous run.
Something for those boss defenders to think about.
I'll say. I think Bartoni, his teammate, knows about that speed because he played it over the top and said, go get it, my friend.
So we're keeping this locked up until the second half. That's when we're going to spring you. A heck of an effort and still almost curled that one in from a tough angle.
It's a good opportunity there for Ehtar to level early here in the second half. Cleared into touch there by Mosley.
And
safely plays it out.
Onto the softball field.
And in the creek.
Yeah.
Comes a big throw as the players get deep into the 18. It's flicked in there. Nice touch. And a shot. It runs off a defender. Referee blows the whistle.
It'll be a corner.
And we're going to have a corner. First of the second half. Unofficially, Boff had 3 in the first half to Ehtar's 2.
Shot that was deflected came from Smajlovic.
If you're Ehtar, you just don't want to give up another one early in the second half here. It'd be a big mountain to climb if you go down 2-0. Flicked on. Just sailed over the head of an on-rushing Cole Gertzenberger. He is a big target out there, Tyler.
Yeah, and he's got some hops, too.
Yes, he does. He's a big man.
Yeah, even too tall for him to get.
He's going to stay up here for this long throw as he gets his works his way back towards the 6-yard box. Referee blows the whistle, and it's going to go to Ehtar.
Legal throw,
I guess
maybe?
a foul throw in.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often at this level.
No.
That'll drive a coach batty.
I can only imagine. That and corner kicks into the side of the net?
Those are bad too. Those are frustrated, coach. I had no gray hair before I started coaching when those players did that.
I was going to say you're not speaking from personal experience.
No,
are
not
you?
much. Ask the kid, why we got 120 yards to work with, and you put it behind the net. Buff. Wide. Monstrat. Plays it down in the corner. Keeper off his line does a nice job.
Costa having a few words there. Didn't like the late
Yeah, there's a little bit of a late
tap challenge there.
Yeah. Really unnecessary from the ball forward.
Yeah.
The ball was well covered.
And especially with Costa taking a little knock a few minutes ago. Sure not appreciating it.
That was the number 9, Edin Marurovic. Played wide. In the corner. Now the cross. Headed clear. Ehtar throw in.
Boutique in Ocala, Illinois, providing quality 3D ultrasounds.
Again, 1-0. Visitors. Ehtar looking for their first goal of the season. Mosley. Mentor. Back to Mentor. Plays it wide. Kasipov not pressing up top. Just getting more of their defensive shape that they want to play in.
You could see it trying to force Ehtar outside, hold it down the midfield.
Nice through ball here on the far side. Outside flag goes up again.
Yeah, and Hunt looks like he's took a little shot around the face. Seems to be rubbing the eye.
The referee is not going to like that. They drove the ball all the way back to the far near side from the far side. The BOHFS coaching staff over there, not so sure there was an offsides. They're not happy.
Yeah, they're trying to say they overlaid the run pretty well there. And our near side AR said just got a little too much going forward.
Yeah, you can't really get on the guy in the middle because
nope.
He sees the flag. He's going to throw the hand up and call the offsides. Mosley and Marurovic have had a battle today, 4-9.
Yeah.
The center back for Ehtar and the striker for our BOHFS. They've been battling here all day. Mentor's been part of that marking assignment as well.
Love to see Boykin get sprung again at the other end
See
for
that run,
Ehtar.
huh?
Yeah. See if he gets a little more help too next time. See how he can facilitate or try and unlock him.
Yeah, throws it down the pitch, knocked down there. BOHFS picks up the loose ball. And the referee's not going to like that either. We're not going to have a card here, but we'll probably have a bit of a talking to.
Yeah, Montserrat there, and nothing to do with the ball. Taking down the man, easy call, good call there, and an advantageous spot here for Ehtar.
So Mosley moves up from his center back position. Gets some height up there. Curled in, nicely taken. The header pulled down by the keeper. He's a good 6'3" or 4", don't you think?
Yeah, and Gibbs almost it looked like so nonchalant there. It looked like
Yeah.
he wasn't even paying attention when that header came in. Nicely sent in there by Dominic Bartoni.
Pulled it down very confidently.
Yeah, he did.
This is dangerous here. Keeper gets a foot on it. That was a 50-50 ball.
Took down the BOHFS forward as well. That was Sengol.
Costas really had a nice rebound from the little mistake
Yeah.
he made. Not little mistake, the big mistake he made in the first half. He's really played well since then.
Part of that's been he's just been more aggressive and
Yeah, just really played well since then.
yeah.
Top of the box. Shot over the bar. Nice chance there. That was Aldridge drilling one over the bar.
Yeah, good vision too to find Aldridge coming in.
Yeah, right at the top of the box. Unmarked. You really got to get that ball in frame from there.
Yeah. Well, and he had space to maybe take that extra half second, half beat, trying to get the pacing right and the weight on it right. Instead, sends it high and over. But Ehtar starting to retake possession a little bit here. We'll move
They're
towards.
playing a lot more confidence here
Yeah.
in the second half. You can see the mentality
Yeah.
that they're playing with. There's a nice run. Oh, pass slips away. Looking to shoot it wide was Bertoni. This foul's going to go against Ehtar as Mosley got up over the forward there.
Check out our partners over at Strands 31 in Belleville.
Well, I think both those two may have heard you, Bob,
Yeah.
about their battle going on. A little extra pushing and shoving between the two as they battled for that loose ball. Now it'll be big for Ehtar to defend the 18 here and clear out.
Maharovich, he's a big man. He's a big target here.
Especially playing up front there, you're absolutely right. He goes right up towards the top of the 18, one of a few for BOHFS.
They play it sharp. Back to Rahe. Rahoy. Boff being very deliberate here. Gertzberger. Loose ball picked up by Ehtar. Gary Mills back on number 12. He was one of the starters here for Coach Mosby, making his first second half appearance. He wasn't too thrilled about being taken off in the first half, but he is
No.
back. That's when the coach says, get out there and show me your stuff.
Right.
Second half, right?
Yeah. Said go make sure it was a mistake that took you off the pitch, but good to see he's back out there.
I'd tell my guys, make me look bad.
There you go.
I'm not embarrassed. Go ahead.
Coaches can handle it.
Yeah, I can handle it. Make me look bad. Nice ball wide. Sargent trying to get on the end of it. He does.
Wow.
Cuts it to his left foot, blocked on the cross. That's a cross. You just want to get it in front of goal. Yeah. Bartoni goes wide to Mills. One-on-one, Mills taking on a defender. Cuts it to his right. Tries a little back heel. Fails with that. Mahagovich. Mentor. Challenges him. Pass skips to the keeper. Gibson Hunt. His pass is knocked down. Possession goes back to Boff, and they lead this one 1-0. Quick throw. looking for Aldridge. It's going to go against Aldridge. What a beautiful day for a soccer game, huh? This weather's been fantastic.
No kidding. Sunny, 73. Bit of decent breeze, consistent breeze. And a far cry from the heat and humidity that'll be here in the middle and later in the season, that's for sure. As I can confirm with way more confidence here in the second half, Mike Utley has come back into the game. First time here in the second half, I do believe.
There we go. Yeah. Pass is picked off by Gardensberger. Passing has got a little choppy here in the last few minutes. Both teams looking to find a little bit more possession. Try and create something in that final third.
Playing a little bit between the 25-yard lines. And for BOHFS, they can kind of afford to do that with a one-goal lead here. And there's been just a couple of opportunities, but nothing super big or enticing thus far here in the second half for Ehtar. Costa's been great, though, as you mentioned, Bob, here in the second half.
Been terrific. Hunt cuts it to his right. His pass is off target. I think both these coaches have done an excellent job getting these teams ready for the season.
Yeah. I was going to say, typically in the beginning of the year with many sports, especially those outdoors, get a card here.
For dissent.
And, well, that can go on the list of things coaches don't necessarily like as well, especially when you get booked for dissent. Rahoy
got that.
Yeah. Tactical fouls are one thing. John with the official, certainly another.
Yellow card for number 10 from BOHFS.
No problem for the keeper.
A little too direct there.
I agree.
Looks like trying to get Aldridge just inside the 18.
That's going to go for a corner kick.
Costa was frustrated there because he was trying to communicate with one of his defenders right in front to let it go into the 18. He'd collect and clear it down the pitch. Instead, it was played and now goes for a corner.
It's one of the few times we've seen the BOHFS really get up and pressure.
Yes, yeah.
The defense there, like you said, they've been playing a really disciplined defending style here in the second half, really keeping their defensive shape.
And they've held down the midfield defensively really well here in the second half. Everything from Ehtar has been trying to work from the wings and in, or trying to play it long ball down the field and run on the other end of it. Now, with a guy like Boykin there and the speed he has, not a bad idea, but...
Yeah, I'd be looking for Boykin again.
Number 23, Alex Peters in for number 2, Tyler Sargent.
Peters into the game.
Substitution for Ehtar.
Place the Sergeant.
Bartoni. Knocked down in midfield. Played back to the keeper. Keepers are feeling the pressure from these attacking forwards. They don't let up.
I was just going to say Mills that time there for Ehtar getting right in the mix there with Gibbs. Forces him just to clear it down the pitch.
Yeah, Mills just got in there.
And you can tell Mills has been a little frustrated, as we mentioned, the first half being subbed out. And a couple of times here since coming back in, just not being able to get worked on the sideline. But keeping with it there. Still making things happen and trying to force a mistake.
Gertzenberger. Tries it the length of the field. No connection there. Nice header. Off on the attack. Nice through ball. Offside flags up. Thought they got the number 13 there. That was Utley.
Yeah. At times tonight, the best defense for Ehtar has been that offside flag. And you see it right there. It looked like it was going to be another prime opportunity for BOHFS, but flag goes up, and now can work back down the other way. Mills with the possession there. Next home game for Ehtar will be June 7th. I believe that'll be slated for a 7 o'clock kickoff.
If you're here to support Ehtar FC, let us hear you.
Looked like Mills went down there.
So the restart for this ball to be flighted somewhere around the top of the 18. Gibson Hunt. Again, a little too direct. Made it easy for the keeper to come off his line and snatch it there.
Yeah, not enough curl there to get the back few options.
Those are things you just have to work at in training. You know, where to flight that ball to make it.
And all you ask for on set pieces and corners like that is just get the first pass completed, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, you want to make the keeper really guess, should I go or should I stay
Right.
off my line? But when it's too direct, it makes it just too easy for them to come and grab it.
Well, you and I always talk about if that ball goes to ground, it becomes a very dangerous situation.
That's when the
very
fun
quickly.
begins, right?
Right. It depends who you're asking, of
Yeah.
course. Goalkeepers, I'm sure that blood pressure, heart rate skies once that ball hits ground.
Yeah,
But
the ball goes to ground. Look out.
inside the final 20 minutes before any stoppage time. Did have the one knock for Costa. That'll give us probably a minute or so at least.
The only goal scored about midway through that first half. Nice ball wide. Not going to be able to hold that one in, so we'll have a goal kick.
Well, we'll see if Ehtar can unlock that kind of magical cross there to find the equalizer, because as we mentioned, we've kind of been working the wings here in the second half and had some opportunities, but nothing concrete.
A lot of talent on this field.
Mm-hmm.
Chance here. Aldrich. Back across the front, but nice defending. BOHFS had to work hard to get that one out of there. There was some good pressure from Ehtar here as they try and level this match.
Yeah, Aldridge left it there for Boykin and just couldn't get a good look.
Cleared into touch by Alex Peters. And we'll have a substitution here.
Adam Knight coming back into the game for BOHFS.
Got the captain's armband on there.
Imagine he would look to be in the final 15 minutes plus here to try and close this one out for BOHFS as the captain, one of.
Comes a long throw. Look for a flick on here. Foul's going to go against the BOHFS.
I think they're going to get Utley there.
He's a solid-looking dude, man.
I was going to say, I wouldn't want to go shoulder to shoulder with him.
Played over the top. Cleared nicely by Boss through midfield. Yeah. He's been out there for the whole match. Gertzenberger picks off the pass. Pass down the line is off target. It's going to roll out to the keeper. Plays it to Mosley. Mosley's just had a nice game.
Yeah.
As is this man, Mentor. These two center backs have been outstanding.
I always liken them to kind of offensive linemen. The less we say, probably the better, but doesn't mean that they're not important or haven't been involved. You're absolutely right. Those two center backs have been good tonight.
I'm sure they'd like to give the Ehtar fans something to cheer about here, get a goal here at this home opener. Midwest Premier League debut for both of these teams.
You certainly feel like stealing a point here, that's for sure, at this juncture in the game.
Yeah.
Well, but with 15 minutes, you might be able to sneak a couple in.
Well, the Boss are sitting on a clean sheet and 3 points right now. And we've had a good one here. We're glad you're with us on prepcast.com. Bob Richards. Tyler Rosen. Pass off target. Nice job letting it roll through the keeper.
Gibbs so nonchalant. Just casually settle that one with the foot, wait for some pressure, now pick it up. Well, to play with the confidence like that, it's got to be nice. Last substitution opportunity there. Almeida comes in for BOHFS. The number 5 moving up top.
Mentor plays it wide.
Joins Utley up there.
Again, going for the home run up the top. Foul's going to go against Ehtar. That's Aldridge. He's kind of grabbing onto the defender there. And
I think the classic attack, trying to draw the foul on the defender by
trying to wrestle that ball away from the defender who had good position on him. Really shielding him off the ball. There's a nice job skying to win the ball. Anton Mosley. Yeah. Pass picked off. Boff slows it down. They lead this one late in the match. Ehtar through midfield looking to counter. Nice run here. 25-yard run.
Good tackle.
Yeah, really good no call there. That's where you almost have to give the ball up. Boff from the wing. The cross. Not far. Top of the 18. Now cleared. Really impressed by the turnout today for this home opener. Ehtar's done a good job building themselves a good fan base.
Absolutely. It's been good to see for opening night here as well. A lot of passion. I've heard the drums.
Yep.
You mentioned the good crowd.
Just a great opening day atmosphere here in Belleville, Illinois.
Great point. Luca Bartoni back into the game for Ehtar. And it looked like Mo Hamad as well. So,
we encourage you, if you had a chance to watch this broadcast today, to come out and see a game.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities for that.
You know, got some good weather ahead of us here.
Yeah.
Come out and enjoy a nice evening with your family. Food trucks, beverages,
Yeah.
great announcers.
Yeah, well, the rest of the year, for sure.
Shot over the bar. One of the few shots we've seen in the second half here from either team.
Yeah, both the defenses have been pretty stout. Not much in the name of really opportunities for either team. It feels like it's going to have to really be from maybe a counterattack or run a play here for Ehtar to find the equalizer.
Again, I got to compliment these coaches getting these two teams ready for the season. You know, you really got to blend a lot of different talent and personalities and get it all set, ready to go. And they've done a nice job. This has been a nice game.
And to get everybody in shape, I'd say is equally as difficult with the short time before maybe the start of the year, but haven't had any sort of fatigue issues here today. If anything, all of our injuries have been kind of knocks or physical plays. You're right. Credit to both coaches and their staffs. And it's been an entertaining game here tonight. And again, we'll remind you our next broadcast of Ehtar Soccer, June 7th. And I believe that one is scheduled for 7 o'clock. I believe all but maybe the last home game of the year at 7 o'clock.
Nice job defending there by Peters.
And I do believe our boss man, Tim Miller, will correct me if I'm wrong. But, of course, stay locked into the Ehtar team website, the league website, Midwest Premier League, for all that information. Schedule, standings, all that.
Dangerous here. Nice job blocking that cross by the keeper. One of the most difficult things of this game is getting that final third where you can convert those opportunities into goals, and sometimes it's just very difficult. There's a nice cross pulled down by the keeper.
Well, and all of a sudden, that field shortens up on you real quick. You go from having 120 yards of space, and all of a sudden you're trying to
working that final 18.
And that final one touch in tight spaces where all of a sudden you're crowding 18 people into the box. You're absolutely right. It's tough to unlock that final third. And
that's a nice ball there. That's going to finish it. Oh, it is not. What a terrific save. That keeper just flashed off his line. That's a save of the game.
Coast has done it a couple of times here.
What a terrific stop.
Going to get another look here as that shot misses and just gets down to keep Ehtar in it.
Just completely unmarked as the ball player, one-on-one with the keeper, who just shows great courage coming off his line. And what a terrific save. Keeps his team in this match.
Well, Coast has done everything he can to atone for that mistake in the first half, and he's put together quite a game here, making some big saves here in the second half.
Terrific saves.
Mm-hmm.
If this scoreline stays the way it is, Tower, I think the coach would be the first to say we just didn't do enough in the final third to deserve the win. Nothing to do with our defense or our goalkeeping, because it's been stellar.
Yeah, can't win 0-0, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
you got to score to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Ehtar defenders have been outstanding in the second half, and the goalkeeping has been off the charts. Shot from the top. Deflected by the defense.
Costa had a guest right, too.
We're going to have a corner kick here.
Yes, sir.
It's time to rally.
See who will go over to take this as Mills tries to usher things along by sending the ball down into the corner. And it looks like it'll be Rajoy. Does have a teammate short. Teammate short appears to be Bozovic.
They play it back. Far post. Oh, headed over the bar, but the flag goes up. Another offsides.
A great effort there from Gerstenberger. Skied up there, was just about unmarked, got over his defender. And
he's quite the big target, obviously.
Yeah, just a hair offside.
Again, the keeper off his line. Releases it, finds Mosley. Mosley plays it wide. This is Hunt. He's clipped. Foul's going to go against Knight.
And Hunt staying down and grabbing the ankle.
Referee's going to run over to take a look before he calls the trainer on. Now he is going to bring the trainer.
And this will give Ehtar a little bit more time here when it's added on.
Yeah, Hunt must have got clipped pretty good there on the ankle.
Yeah, I saw those legs go tucking up underneath when he was falling. And you never know how much of that is a reaction just from feeling the presence there of a swipe, or
you get clipped good on the Achilles. You know, it can really.
And that's where they're
hurt. That's what he's working on right now.
Yeah, lower. Yeah. I won't speculate any further than that, but
nope.
yeah, I got clipped good there. And getting some medical treatment now. As we approach 86 minutes gone by. And, of course, we will have the injury time, stoppage time added on at the 90-minute mark. Had 2 in the first half. Probably have a few more here. Ehtar still looking for the equalizer. Well, and it's been a defensive struggle here in the second half, and that goes for both sides. As they continue their check there on Gibson Hunt. He's been busy here in the second half trying to unlock this near side wing. Good to see him up now. And they're going to bring him off the pitch.
Yeah, he's looking at the back of his ankle, so it's a little bit of a knock there, so we'll definitely have some extra time here. Added time as this clock is working its way towards the 90-minute mark. 1-0.
Yeah, might have close to 5 minutes or so when it's said and done. We get to the 90-minute mark of stoppage time. Mentor passing along some instructions.
It's been a good one.
Yes, it has. Still time left for Ehtar. Find that equalizer. Send the fans home with at least a point and an exciting finish.
Referee puts us back into play. Back to Mentor. Turns and goes back to the far side. Peters plays it down the line. A little spinorama move there. That was Hamad. Ball goes across the byline for a goal kick. skips across. Touch. So we'll throw in for Boff.
Sessions over in the concourse. Casa Maria's food truck, Royal Gates cold treats, as well as the beer tent. We'll be here for about an hour after the game is over. So stick around for a good time.
Speaks to the game day event
Yeah.
here. Staying open an hour after the game.
Making announcements about the food truck and the beverages. Boff on the attack into the 18. Just a little bit of a heavy touch there. As he throws his head up in frustrations. That was Cedric Sengo.
Appears it'll be about 4 minutes of added time here. I do believe it is.
4 minutes, yep. So we're in added time now. That's where if you're Ehtar, you just want to push some guys up the pitch here.
Yeah.
Held in nicely.
Our fourth official has indicated 4 minutes of extra time.
Off. Ball's going to run through. Picked up by Mentor. He and Mosley going a full 90 plus.
Mm-hmm. They'll feel it tonight and tomorrow, I'm sure.
I'm feeling it for him.
That makes two of us.
Heavy challenge there. Boff comes out with it. Cramps.
Quickly calling for the trainer to come help out. Mills says, "Don't worry, I'll help you out," as he stretches out the opponent.
And we'll add a little additional time beyond the 4.
Again, to the head referee's discretion. And I think discretion certainly comes into play more so in the second half a lot of times, and that's most levels, I'd say, than maybe in the first. First half was pretty strict at the 2 minutes.
When you get those super high levels, that added time can be an interesting phenomenon, especially when a corner kick is coming along or a set piece. The referee, for fear of his life, will never blow the whistle until that's over with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does get interesting. And
he'd be running for his car. So they usually let that play out to see what happens.
It can be well, not can be. It is a tough job and certainly a thankless one.
These referees have done a really nice job today.
Yes. And credit to the players, too, keeping everything kind of within the law of the game.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
agree.
Haven't forced the officials' hand much at all.
No, we've seen some good sportsmanship where guys have, like you said, committed a tactical foul and then turn around and help their opponent up after they dropped him like a sack of potatoes.
Well, and as we talked about at the start of the broadcast, you're just pumped to get out and see some different faces and trying to figure out a new way to attack, seeing a different goalkeeper between the pipes.
Yeah.
That was Montserrat.
The header just passed the post. Referee allows the Boff player to come back on. Now that's Montserrat, who had the cramped leg.
If Ehtar can exploit that here down this near side, see, he's not going to be moving well. Next couple of minutes.
Connolly plays it wide. Back to Mosley. You can see the defensive shape here from Boff. They're content to mark up and play some solid defense. Gertzenberger. That's going to run across the byline for a goal kick.
And in no hurry, too. Put this one back into play will be Leon Gibbs. Maybe they'll discuss over some more who's going to go collect the loose ball.
Referee flagging them on here, encouraging them to pick up the pace. 1-0 as we're deep into extra time here. The visitors from BOHFS leading in this opener of the Midwest Premier League season at Althoff High School in Belleville, Illinois. Ehtar maybe with another opportunity here.
They can give forward, would presume to be their last opportunity here. Played 5 minutes here of extra time. There was a decent injury timeout within that. So we're certainly at referee's discretion now.
Let's get fired up, Mummy Squad.
Quinn Connolly plays it wide. The referee blows the whistle. We got a foul here. It's an opportunity. And this may be the last of the game. This is where you really want to get a nicely flighted ball.
We'll send just about everyone towards the top of the 18. No surprise there.
Somewhere between the 6 and the 18 is where you want this. Keep that keeper on his line. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger. Ehtar with a lot of players up. Again, keeper punches. Ehtar player slow to get up. Run down by Gibson Hunt. Played wide. Cleared by BOHFS. Throw in back to the visitors in blue. They lead this one 1-0 late. That's going to do it.
There we go.
And that's going to do it, folks, as this one ends up 1-0 on a goal midway through the first half. BOHFS makes it stand up. The visitors from St. Louis defeat Ehtar in their home opener of the Midwest Premier League. We thank you for joining us here on Prepcast.com. For my partner Tyler Rose and Bob Richards saying, enjoy the rest of the weekend, and thanks for joining us for Ehtar Soccer.